Hello, everyone. I'll be right there. Forgot something.
Good boy, Tux.
Gosh, I have a drink.
That's okay.
Yeah, it happens all the time. It's like a toddler when you get on the phone, you know?
Cynthia.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Great. Cynthia. Oh, I thought that must be Whitney because I don't know you. Is that you?
Yes.
What a
Hi.
microphone.
I thought you were Cynthia when I first looked, but then I saw her name sitting there. So does that mean your camera's not working?
She doesn't have a camera on her computer.
Oh.
So I think
Okay.
she's trying to figure it out.
Well, if she doesn't have a
Next
camera, I
time-
don't think she's going to figure it out.
Will she have audio?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Does she have a speaker?
She'll have to use a phone next time.
Well, she can call in. I'm trying to unmute her, but it won't unmute. Oh, Cynthia, can you talk for a minute if you're there? Because I unmuted her. Do you think she's there?
I don't know. She's not responding to the text, so she's trying. I text her if she can hear.
Oh.
I will have to walk her through the cell phone, I think, for next time.
Well, she can just, the numbers are on the, on the email.
Right.
She can just call in. And
How did she says she can hear all of us.
she can?
Yeah.
Wow. So she must not have a mic either.
Oh, she doesn't have a mic.
Okay, so Cynthia, on the email, there's phone numbers to call in, and then you just put in the meeting code, and then we'll be able to hear you. And then you don't actually necessarily have to be on, well, you probably want to be on the Zoom so if you want to see all our beautiful faces. Hi, Catherine.
See him.
Hello, good morning, good day.
And
She's
we're
trying.
waiting for Crystal. And then I think once those two get in here, we'll be ready to go. I guess we can start by, well, let's just give it just a second. So
She calls in. I see the list of numbers. It says, please don't use the phone options.
well, I said that.
Yeah, so it would be, there's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, and usually people don't have to pay long distance, so it's whatever one she wants.
Give me one.
Yeah.
I'm going to copy and paste it.
In
for
the
her.
old days, we used to try to find a local number.
Oops.
There's Karen. Oh, so wait a minute. Yeah, we have another one. Hi, Karen. Crystal. She must be running late, so she'll just have to get on board, but I'd like Cynthia actually to get her thing worked out.
He was nervous about that.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm better. I'm going through a shift.
We all are.
I know.
For sure.
By force.
Darn it.
There's Crystal. So we just need your mom. Is she dialing in?
She's trying, she said.
All right, we're almost there. So I guess oh, hi, Crystal. Hi, Crystal.
Hi. Just trying to get the volume up here. All right, now I can hear.
That's a good thing.
Oh, that's loud.
So awesome. Okay. We're just waiting for Cynthia to call in because apparently her computer is old and is not able to. She can hear us, but she can't do anything else. So if you've not been on Zoom before, if you look at the bottom, like put your mouse down there, it puts up like a little bunch of things you can do. And if you can open your chat box, that would be great. Because what I would like, because we're going to be so limited on time, is that, you know, you guys are all intuitive. So if something comes to you, like you feel like you'd like to add something to what the conversation is, go ahead and put stuff in the chat. And, you know, if either, okay, here comes Cynthia.
Cindy, yeah.
Yep.
For what it's worth, hello.
Hey. Okay, so
Hi.
that's Cynthia. And
Yes, that green phone.
is here. So you can see us on your computer though, right, Cynthia?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. So welcome everyone. We're going to kind of trailblaze through issues today. And it's a little bit like how I always do my work, which is like get in and accelerate and beat the crap through and get the answers. And but what's different is because we're just having this one session, it's not like we have the luxury to build on to it. So we really need to just make the best of this time. But I promise you get answers and insight. But what I would ask is you just all open to hearing it. Now, if you've worked with me, you know my style. But most of you have me enough on social media, so I am going to mute someone.
Oh, I just got muted. Yeah.
I know, but we can hear you. I muted your computer because your
Oh,
computer
okay.
doesn't work anyway. But
Oh, good, good.
I might,
Better.
if you,
Power to the paper.
yeah, if you need to mute yourself, like say you have a dog that starts barking or something, you know, you have that power to do that. If you go over your window where your thing is to the right, there's three, it'll say mute or unmute. You can mute yourself or unmute yourself. The three dots will do other things. I already told everybody to open their chat window and
Should I do that or why bother, right?
if you can chat, yeah,
Well, I thought I was, but
we'll try it.
okay, let's
See if
see.
it works. You open it by going and putting.
I did go down at the bottom.
Okay.
Let's
click on
see.
that.
Type my message. I'm talking to myself. There, let's see if this works.
Because I'm going to mute you if you keep talking to yourself.
Well,
We saw it.
Far.
okay. Now we're okay. From now on, I will shut up and I will just use the texting. Is that the way it goes?
Not necessarily, but if you have anything you want to say, that when we're talking to each other, like I want everybody's, you know, time. It's for that person, but anything that you might feel like, you know, you want to add, you can put it in the chat. So, you know, feel like I want everybody to feel at home to share things that you think would help. And so that's why I think the chat will be good, because then we're not spending time for everybody to talk. And we can look at the chat. And if something comes up in the chat that I really feel like we should say, then we will address it. Otherwise, you know, after your time is done, you can go back and look at the chat and see what came up. And you can even respond on the chat. So basically what I would like is that I'm getting feedback, so I'm going to mute all of you for now. And then you can
You muted yourself too, Cindy. You're muted.
Huh? How did I do that? That's weird. I didn't even mute myself. It did that. I guess we were going to have sign language. Yeah, so just feel comfortable here. Just know that everybody here are nice people, but I want you, I was going back to my style. I'm really, I will just say what I'm getting. And I get my guidance to say it in the way that I say it. Nothing is ever meant to sound like a put down or that you should be embarrassed by it. It's not that, it's help. So I don't want anybody to feel like that. Like, don't feel that at any time that it's that. It's, you know, when we get down to, you know, hey, this is an issue you're having. Sometimes you might go, I had no idea. Sometimes you might feel like, hell no, I don't have that issue. Sometimes you might say, oh, well, I don't see it, but I'm open to it. So if it makes sense, great. If it doesn't make sense, just say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna ask about that in my, you know, however you guys connect every day to your guides, to your angels, whoever you're working with, and ask for more information. Because the thing is, we know our stuff that's blocking us, but a lot of times you don't know the stuff that's blocking you. So you may not know. And so it's a gift to know. And I'm just going to come out with it if, however I get it. And I'm not saying that when I do that, it's hard to take, but it's hard for anybody, even me, to hear my stuff. So just know we're all in the same boat, and it's not meant to be a put down, and it's a gift to know. And so once you know something, you can change it. If you don't know what's happening, you can't change it. So I posted something on Facebook today that said, how open-minded are you to know when you're not being open-minded? Something like that. And it's like, that's so true. We all have that. Oh, I'm open-minded until you say something that I'm not open to hear. So we all have our stuff. We all have our things. So just know that all of this is coming from a place of helping you and a place of love. So let's get started. Let's just say your name real quick and maybe like where you're from, and then in 1 or 2 words, whatever you need, say what topic you're gonna, you know, want to focus on today. So we'll start with Crystal.
Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm from California, and then you just said the topic that we want to focus on.
Yeah.
For me, attracting clients. So it's 2 words. Attracting clients. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yes, that's me.
All right, Karen. I guess I better unmute you guys. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Karen. I'm also from California. I have been looking at the fact that I need to figure out where my disrespect keeps winding its way back into my life. So I need to find out where I'm disrespecting myself, because it's not acceptable to me anymore. I mean,
Okay,
I
perfect.
keep attracting the same spirit, and so I need to figure out how to strengthen my core or whatever.
Right. So don't solve it. Just say what it is. We're here to
Okay.
solve it together.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Christina. I said that because of your Facebook name.
Yeah. I'm Christina from Oakland, California, and I'd like to work on the blocks that I'm feeling that I have towards my business. You know, expanding on social media and simple things that I know how to do and think about every day, but I don't do. That has been going on for so long now that it's kind of crazy.
Okay,
Like
great.
the stuff you just need to do.
Right. Yeah, I think we all can relate to that one. Okay, Whitney.
Hi, I'm Whitney. I'm from Pennsylvania. And like everyone else, it all sounds very similar. But for me, I want to know why I consistently self-sabotage around my career, which I've started my own business, and my finances.
Great. Yeah, it sounds like everybody's sort of, well, a lot of people are on that track. Okay. Catherine, I'm trying to unmute you. There you go.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm on the Mendocino coast of Northern California, and I am super excited for my abundance to flow, yo.
Yay. I love the way you said that. That's awesome. Great. Oh, I just got chills. All right. Cynthia, I unmuted you.
All righty. I'd like to work on perseverance, eliminating procrastination, and being calm in whatever I do. You know, this one little thing, just to have some calm, like not making such a
You're
trial,
unclear.
like I'm coming from laughing, I'm not at all. So I think that's really where I'm at today.
Okay, so we didn't get any of that. It was like, I don't know, there's like feedback coming. You're not on two phones, are you?
Well, I don't know what to do. I don't hold the phone if you can hear me.
Now, sort of, like you get clear and then you sound like you're under the water. Oh, I'm kind of, hold on, let me mute myself. Okay, I'm gonna mute and then you talk. So I'm gonna mute now.
Hello? Oh, good. All right. Working on perseverance, eliminating procrastination over just about everything, and conducting my life with calmness. Also, just some background imprint that I come from lack when, with all my heart, I know I don't. And that's big for me.
I'm not sure why we're getting feedback like that. That's weird. Okay, great. So we have a starting point. So the first thing I want to say is, I have a couple of prompts here for you. Write, if you have a piece of paper, and I hope you do, write this down. I feel blank about your topic. And one thing I don't want you to put is stuck. And then the other thing I want you to think of is, what is one thing in your life that you stayed focused on and saw it to the end? And why? I'll repeat the second one. What was the one thing you stayed focused on and saw it through to the end, and why? The first question is, I feel blank about blank, but the second blank is the topic that you're choosing to work on today, the one topic. So we're already heating up here. Got lots of help around here. Already some clearing being done on everyone. So just know through the process, you might be feeling heat or you might feel shifts. It's happening real time. Okay, so let's start. When it's your turn, you're going to say these things. And then I have a couple of other questions as well. Does anybody want to start? Otherwise, I know who I'm calling. Okay, Catherine, I will unmute you. I hope. Easier said than done. There you go.
I got it.
Okay.
I feel excited. I feel excited about my abundant flow. I've was so happy and honored to be here. So I'm super excited to unlock that, whatever is left. And one thing that I stayed focused on until the end is horse training. I've trained several horses in my life, and I just love it. I love working. I love working with animals. I've actually trained a lot of them, and yeah, I love it. That's why I focused on it and stayed focused on it. Thank you.
Okay, you're staying on. We're gonna dive with you.
Okay.
Okay, so go your statement about how you feel. I feel blank about blank. Excited about your abundance. However you said that. So what in that area is working for you, and what in that area is not working for you?
In my area of abundance,
About, well, your statement, I feel excited about my abundance. So what is working about that excitement for your abundance, and what is not working?
the initial energy is on fire and the follow through is crap.
Ah, I can feel that. Okay, so let's talk about the crap. Take a breath, because I just got a super charge of emotion just hit me with that. If you're honest with yourself, like just put your hand on your heart and you think about that statement you said about what's not working. The crap is the follow through is crap. Let's talk about that. How does that make you feel?
Well, it doesn't feel good. It feels like crap. Yeah, it feels dense and dark and just stuck. And you know, that's the heart of it all. I have a plan and a mission laid out in front of me. It gets more and more important all the time, and then when it comes down to doing the actual work, I find myself wanting to do anything but that, and basically the equivalent of like crawling into a cave or getting back into bed or like curling up, like totally retracting. And what I need is open and free and I don't know what it is. Like, I keep having in my head, like, I know exactly what to do, and it seems so clear. And yeah, and I think part of it, what comes up for me is that every time I feel like I put out a burst of energy and it doesn't come back to me, it retracts me back.
Okay. So talking about that, you know, when you lit up when you talked about the animals, like I love that. I've done that. I follow that through. If this thing that you're working on is what you really want to do, how come you don't have the same? Because the animal thing is easy. You
Right.
know what to do. You're motivated to do it. It lights you up no matter what. And I know you've had hardships with it, but you just trailblaze through it. You find a way, and you always
Right.
do. You've had some big things come up. I mean, I don't know everything, but I've seen a little. And you just figure it out and you do what's right, because I'll tell you one thing is because that is a being, right? It's an animal, and you don't want to ever just leave that undone because you care about that sentient being. So you're willing to follow it through for that reason, but also because it's something that's in you. It's a drive in you that you will do. It's like you don't, when it doesn't work, you don't retract. You don't close off. In fact, you send your feelers out even further. Then you know how far you can go. You don't even know if there's anything further, but you know you need to, and you find a way to do that. So if this, whatever it is that you're doing to, I assume, make money, is not, what's the difference? Why is there a difference here?
Great question. And I think I'm working with people. I'm trying to work with people instead of animals. And I guess my communication, I feel misunderstood by people, and I feel like animals understand energy so clearly, and people get caught up in the confines or the constraints of society. Like yeah. So I often have considered myself a translator for, like, from what animals are saying to people. And but that's not, I have yet to have found the way. That's always been my passion, but I have yet to find the way that pays me. It's always been something that I've sort of paid to play. And yeah, so
Okay, so
yeah.
I want to call your attention to something. You find animals easier because you feel like they understand, however they understand. They're easier to work with than humans. That, right? That's like the bottom line right there, right? They don't have, you feel like they don't have the limitations that humans have against things or for things, or how far they'll go with things. Is that true? Or can you word that in a better way that feels right to you?
I think I feel yeah, that doesn't make sense to me either when I hear it back.
What makes it easier working with animals than with people?
I think animals, sorry, getting a little choked up.
That's okay. Let it go, lady. That's what we're doing here.
I think animals are, they don't judge, they're just present.
Okay. And then what do you need from people to succeed? What are you feeling you need? I mean, you'll probably need a lot of things, but what's the main thing that you're feeling like you're needing, but you're not getting from people?
I need people to trust me, that I know what I'm talking about, and that what I'm offering is something that's going to really help them.
Okay. So I want you to bookmark that, because that's a thing that you just need to start trusting yourself that you know, and you have to have that confidence that you know, because everybody else will when you feel you do. And when I see you talk about stuff, I feel like you do know personally. I think
Yeah.
maybe you're thinking that, and it's not always true. So if we're talking about abundance, money, what do you need people to do that they're not doing?
Well, I sell superfoods, so I need them to buy superfoods or to join my team of agents selling superfoods.
And what is the difficulty with getting that done?
Interestingly enough, the people that I've gotten to sign on don't activate and are just kind of stuck. So
They're not as passionate about it.
yeah, or they are passionate, but they don't know how to how to translate their passion into action. I think yeah, they sound passionate, but then they disappear.
It kind of sounds like, and maybe not as much as them, but I see you get super inspired when you're in Hawaii at your meetings.
Mhm.
And like you make your drinks and you're showing it and you're talking about how delicious it is. And it's really inviting when you're in that
Yeah.
spirit and to watch. And then when you get back home, you might talk about it a little bit, then you just drop off.
Yeah.
And then you're not consistent. And then you come back again and then you'll say, oh, I'm all on this. But then you come and you go. And one thing, this is for everyone in your business, you can't come and go. You cannot come and go. No matter how much you want to just like not deal with it, you got to get up every day and deal with it. Now, there might be a time where you get up and you have every intention to get something done in your business, but there's something with the energy and you just can't do it. I know. I know this thing. And you have to honor yourself because you're not going to be able to force yourself to do anything. But some days you're going to need to force yourself. There's some days that you can't and some days that you just need to do it. Okay, so you got to get real with yourself. If you really want a business, this is for all of you. If you really want a business that's going to make money, you've got to have the discipline to show up and do what you need to do. And sometimes you're going to be on it more than other times, and sometimes you're not. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I really want to go do this video. But I know if I start getting involved in a video, that's going to take up the rest of my hours and days. And I'm like, you know what? I really feel like I could do my website today. I need to do that because I'm not always feeling like I'm going to feel like doing that. So I need to just forget that video and work on what's more important. So I have to ask myself, what's more important? And am I able to do that today and jump on it when I can? Always jump on that energy movement when it's there because it's not always there. And you cannot come and go because then everybody thinks, well, she's just having fun with her drink again. And then it's not anything substantial. Now, let me go back to another point. When between the animal work and this, are you equally in passion with it? I mean, if you could make money off animal work, would you rather do that? I mean, you don't have to choose. And I don't think you should. I think you should have multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
But that means you got to put the work into it and know that that's what you're doing. Like, do it for you. That's for you. That's not because you're trying to torture yourself. You want to only do things that are interesting to you and you want to diversify. So would you say that you are equally in love with the superfoods as you are with the animal situation?
I am, because my whole life I've really struggled around food and nutrition, and like it's been an issue for me. And to have found something that works is like a real game changer. It has been in my life, and I'd like to be able to share that. And I really feel it's I feel very, very passionate that we're being poisoned by the standard American diet, and that like people would operate better given nutrition, and I have a way that's sustainable, organic, and easy. And so I am passionate about it. I think I get caught up in my old patterns or my old judgments put down by others and then repeated by myself about how I look and not looking the part and whatever. And the pain is also the key for me because, for me personally, it's hard for me to take nutritional advice from somebody that's never had that struggle that I've had. And so I really see myself as a key for other people, but I get hung up in that area. I think I get hung up, yeah.
All right, so let me just say about that part, you do have a story. You do have a story of healing that everything, you get clients by telling your story. And you're a good storyteller. You don't have a problem with being on a screen. You have communication skills. You're very compassionate. You have all the components. Mm-hmm. You just need to tell your story. Now, the one thing that will help is having your facts, like getting your blood work. Are you balanced in that area? And even if you're working on it, like you say, hey, I got my blood work and this is what's happening. So now I'm adjusting my stuff to go this way and I'm going to do my blood work again in 30 days. Like you share that stuff, and people always want to hear success stories. Or, you healed your back. Like that was crazy, that you're able to just be up and around and doing what you do. So I want you to find all of those juicy things that you are and stop thinking about, how I look, they're not going to listen. That's not true. When you're in Hawaii and you're doing those videos, you're making me want to buy those drinks. And I know that if I'm feeling that way, there's probably other people that want that too. So you just need to be more consistent, because when you're not consistent, that's when it looks like you're not really in it all the way. And so that's that. And going back to the animal thing, is that something you want to do? If you could make money, or you done with that?
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay, let me tell you, I want to also give you a parallel with the animal work and the supplement work. You're finding it easier to work with animals because they seem less limited in, whatever way you're dealing with them in different ways, but you feel less of a limitation with them. You feel it's easier to deal with them, and, it seems like a more natural thing. Whereas you feel humans have their limitations. They don't follow through. It's harder to deal with them for whatever those reasons are, because you got to work through all those reasons. And it doesn't have to be hard to work through those reasons. You just need to know what they are and what to do about it. But let me tell you something. Think about this. Say, okay, I have the animals and I have the people, and I need the people to give me money, whatever way that is. Joining, I'm just using an easy thing, money. And they have limitations. And your animals have needs too, right? They need food, they need, shelter, whatever. And that's not cheap either. So they need money too. But when you look at it, the animal is completely helpless. The animal is never going to help you to give you money. But somehow you are able to get the resources, get the money, get the help, whatever it is, to make those things work. Now, maybe you didn't build a business around it, because I know what you need to do with that, but let's just listen to this for a minute. But the people are more apt because they have a way to give money. Like, you just have to start going after clients that have money and are into nutrition and are willing to give you money. Stop going after people that aren't in that realm. All of you, stop going after people that are not your ideal clients. Stop stooping there. Get in the higher realms of it. And know that getting someone to pay you $15,000 is the same thing as getting someone to pay you $100. It is the same thing. You're just working with different people. And the people that are going to give you the $15,000 are going to be way easier to work with. And they're going to hand over that money much easier than somebody that's going to hand you over $100. You got to get that in your mindset because it's true. And so, and if they're not willing to do that, that's not your client. Move on. You got to stay up on the wave that you want to ride. Because if you keep dipping down, then you're going to keep dipping down and you're going to keep dealing with those same issues. So what I'm trying to make a correlation here is those animals are helpless. They are completely 100% dependent on you. If you had a bunch of helpless people that were completely dependent on you, you would have to find a way to give them the superfoods, to do all these things. And if that was your passion, you would find a way to do it. I'm not suggesting that's what you do, but I'm saying it's the same thing. So you can make money. The thing is, what I was getting with your money issue is, oh, I'm getting so many chills. Okay, I want to ask you a question first. What's the worst thing that would happen if you never made money on any business? How would you feel? What would be the worst thing that happened?
I mean, I'm just about there right now. I thought I was there before, and I'm just about there now. And, you know, everything is essentially okay in the scheme of things. Like, it's going to be okay. But, you know, I guess, you know, bankruptcy.
What's the worst thing that could happen if you filed bankruptcy? And I'm not saying you should do this. We're doing an exercise here.
Right. So it's like a complete financial reset, I guess, you know.
And what would be the worst thing that would happen if you had to do that?
It's, I just would have no credit.
So how would that make you feel?
Without a lifeline, without you know, like a extra, like I call it a cushion. Without a cushion.
Is it really a cushion?
Not really, especially not now. It's pretty
okay,
flat.
so I want to give you an example. I'm sorry, I'm moving you fast because we're going over time. I want to give you an example. So whatever that cushion is it making it easier or is it making it harder?
It's making it harder right now for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so it's making it harder, but you're finding ways to continue to fix that, right?
Yeah.
So even though it's hard, you're finding ways to continually fix that. So it's the same thing with the animal thing. It was hard, you needed resource, you didn't have it, you find a way to make it work. That's the pattern that you're doing. Everything you do, it gets harder and harder, but you still find some way to reach out and make it work. So this is a moneyless system that you have going on here. And you've got to make a decision that you're done making a moneyless existence. And I feel that. I mean, I know you want that, but you really have to make that decision and say, I have been living a moneyless situation, but you are doing it. You are doing it. But you know what? It's harder to do it the way you're doing it. So if you can do what you're doing, you can certainly use that energy to funnel it towards making money. Like you just have to take your energy from doing that to make your energy to making the money. And I was getting for you, one of the reasons why you get stuck is the fear that you're going to fail. But I don't think you have to worry about fear that you're going to fail because you're showing that you're not going to fail. You're just making it really hard on yourself instead of using that wonderful energy to do something, to build something for yourself. Now, let me tell you a little shifting point for you. You might say, well, yeah, but how do I get this now? The minute you start saying, okay, everything I do is going to be focused on bringing in money right now and make it sustaining money. And I am really going to just go that way. The minute you start going that way and you stay consistent with it, money's going to start coming. You have to make the decision, and then you got to start going that way. You don't have to complete it and get to the end result. There's never going to be an end result. You're always going to keep going and refining. But if you change your mind about living off, you know, the way you're doing it, and living off for a free, you know, free life, or whatever you want to call it, it's not free, but a moneyless life, to a money-filled life, a money-filled sustaining life, and you start putting your focus that way and staying on your game, all you have to do is be consistent for a while, and that money's going to start coming in pretty quickly. Because when anybody's manifesting, you know, when you're really true to your manifesting, you're doing your affirmations, you're cleaning your energy, you're keeping your mindset, all of a sudden, boom, you start getting money, you start getting your manifestations, and things start running well. And then all of a sudden you get a little lazy because it's running good now. So you stop doing so many affirmations, you stop doing those spiritual studies, and then you start getting loose, and all of a sudden it starts stopping. And then it starts stopping more and more and more. And then you're like, oh crap, I need to get back on, I got to get back to the basics, because this is, I got to make some money. And then it takes a while to build the momentum, but then you start riding it again. So you got to make the decision, start working on it. And every day, just like, this is my game. My game is this, to make money. I'm making money today. How am I making money today? Get up. Yes, I'm making money today, because that's what I do. I make money, and I'm excited about that. And just start doing that, because you will start making money. Okay. So luckily you're working with me, coming up soon. Hopefully you'll start sooner rather than later, and not put it off anymore, because we can really get you defined and, you know, really on the steps to do. But your first thing is to look at all the stuff that came up today and understand how you've been doing that. And you've been doing it really well. You're making it harder on yourself. You can make it easier, and you can have a lot more fun, and you can be putting your energy to something that's going to start bringing the money in.
Yeah, easier is definitely a lot more fun, and I'm all about the fun. I'm
just going to mention something about the animal thing. I know how you can make money with that. Be an animal communicator.
Yep.
Easy.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Easy. Like, you can do that. People want that. All you need is a website. Put it up. Get it out there that that's what you do. I bet you anything that's going to be your huge seller. Okay, thank you. Whew. This is really power session here. All right, Crystal, let's go. I'm unmuting you. Okay. I feel blank about blank.
Okay, a couple words came up because I totally was going to use stuck. Uncertain, I feel uncertain, confused, disconnected about attracting clients. And I think that's just because, like, sometimes I get very clear and start doing the affirmations, kind of like everything you were saying. And I tend to really attract clients with massage, but I want to attract clients more with like energy healing. I really want to go down that path. But every time I start attracting clients, they always come for massage. And then right now with all of this and having to be closed, I mean, my first thought was, okay, well, no one can get massages right now. This is great. Now I get to focus on the energy work and attracting clients there. And I've been trying, well, I mean, the first week was I definitely got a lot more emotional about the closing. I think it was me facing the fear of having to really commit to fully dedicating to the energy work. That, I don't know why that scares me.
Me neither.
I know. I don't know why. I think lately I've been feeling really like disconnected is probably the best word to describe it. There's
okay. I'm going to stop you because we're going to figure it out.
Okay.
So you feel confused about how to get clients? Is that
confused on how to get clients. Like I think more so with like online, because I'm trying to build specifically like remote healing.
Okay. Why do you need to find them online?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's a nice place to find
Right.
them, but you have a whole client base.
Right.
Okay, so we'll go into that.
Right. I see what you're saying.
So what's working with that and what's not working with that? Just a simple
What's working with which part?
Getting clients.
Um,
No, being confused about getting clients. What's working with that and what's
nothing. Not working everything.
Okay.
I know, because sometimes it's like I can get very clear, and then other times it feels like this huge fog mentally on who the client should be. And sometimes I just feel like if I set my sight too high, I get disappointed and I get impatient. Kind of similar to like when Catherine was speaking, a lot of it was like, yep, that's me. That's what I've been doing. I haven't been consistent. I tend to get really impatient.
Mm-hmm.
I start putting it out there, and then I just get discouraged when I'm not making those connections.
Right. So let me tell you something. I keep this list on my desk. Like I'm forever a list person. And this is my list of premium clients that, have worked with me a long time, that, that when I'm looking to sell a program or something, I email them directly. I don't just send them the mass newsletter. And then I made a new list recently that said new clients, and it was just empty at first. And within, I think 2 days, I got someone that bought my year package. That was a $13,000 sale. And so like, you have to be progressive with what you want. Like you've just got to, I decided I want new clients, I want new clients, because these are great clients, but I can't keep trying to sell them constantly. And I was noticing like, I don't know, because I want to sell these year packages, which I've been very successful at doing. And, like I said, it's selling a high-end package to a low-end package is the same thing. Because at first, a couple months ago, I was like, okay, I'm going to sell a $2,000 program to 5 people. And I said, why am I doing that? I just need to sell one program to get that amount of money. Why am I going to do that? There's going to be more work, more people, harder because it's less money. And I was like, no. I mean, I'd show you my journal where I scratched it off. So sometimes your mind might revert back to that kind of thinking. You got to catch yourself and say, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this. So it's a lot about making decision. So I want to go to what was the one thing that you stayed focused on and saw it through to the end, and why?
For that, the thing that came to mind was pursuing my passions, because I felt I had to in the depths of my core and heart, specifically with energy healing. Like there was nothing that was going to stop me from taking the energy courses, taking the light activation. Like I was focused. I was like, that's what I want. The money's going to come. And I knew it would, and I trusted it.
Right.
And whenever I would, it always would give me this boost. And I've just been in this roller coaster that I'm sick of with my finances. Like I go through phases of super attracting clients and really getting them into the energy healing, and then I go through this drought. And I don't like it. I want consistency.
Right. So that drought is you're causing the drought.
I know.
It's not your clients. So I was, I was tuning into all of you before this, and I was getting that, that unstoppable part of you was when you went after all the spiritual teachings, you were just drinking it up. Like that was your thing. So obviously it is your thing. It is what you want to do. That's proof that you're on your path of what you really want. And when there's a couple of things that were coming through for you was that, think about, what if it was just your life was dependent only on you? Like if you didn't make the money, you and your daughter would literally be on the street. Do you think you'd work a little harder?
Yeah, definitely.
So there's, you really look at that aspect, because when you feel like you can depend on somebody, I don't care if it could be whoever, this is for everyone, your spouse, parent, whatever, you know, you give yourself more room to get frustrated and not keep going. And believe me, I get frustrated a lot, but I have no choice but to keep going. And, you know, that's just my life. I can't not be working. And the hardest times, I don't even know how I did it when my sister died. It was really hard. I don't know how I survived the first year because that was so hard. But I had no choice but to keep going. So that's the one thing you want to think of is, you know, you're responsible for you and you're responsible for your daughter. How much is it worth to you to not let the frustration be an excuse to get in your way of not doing what you need to do? You know, how much are you letting yourself slide in that area? You know, think about that, because that's something you really want to think about. What if you didn't have the security? What if one day that security is taken away? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So you want to get on board. Plus you're frustrated because you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Frustrated and not doing it, and then you're frustrated because you're not doing it. So you're like both, like you're beating yourself up in the front and you're beating yourself up in the back.
Totally.
The other thing I was hearing for you was that you compare yourself too much to other people, and it makes you feel like, I can't even do that. And not only that, they're telling me you're comparing yourself to people that are way beyond your level, not meaning like you're not at their level, but they either have a team that, you know, people that can afford to have teams are going to do so much better, right? I don't have a team. I would like a team. So, I mean, there's people at all different levels that are having success, and you need to just be where you are and decide what your level is going to be and stop comparing yourself, and knowing that even though someone might be looking like they're doing great, they may not be doing that great. You know what? One thing I want to point out to you, people that are doing all those ads that are like these high-end coaches, like they have these conferences and they're enrolling all these, you know, 80,000, not 80, but like 80 people into their mentorship program. They're making $1 million plus a year. Do you know what kind of stress that is, that they have to continue to do that every year because they have to keep their lifestyle up now? Who the hell wants to keep doing that? I wouldn't want to do that. I would not wish that on myself. And I know somebody who does it that has been successful, but the truth is she's very stressed out. She gets behind on her money, even though she's you know, multimillionaire. And when people drop off, she's screwed. And then she has to keep getting herself up on the stage and primping herself up, and that's not even the person she is, to continue to make that money, to continue to have that lifestyle and have that team. It's all relative. So don't think that just because they have that's an easy street or that you'd even want it. So what I'm hearing for you is it's important for you to decide what kind of clients you want. Decide what kind of, well, first decide what kind of money you want, and then decide what kind of clients that is. Those are clients, those are. Make your short list of whatever clients, you know, are, you know, can kind of fit into that, and then slowly upgrade to, you know, have some bigger packages. Now, I want to tell you, like your group, it's great that you built that group and that you can build a group. You know how to build a group, but do you think that those are your clients?
No.
Not at all. They're a drain. Like they're all there just to take a free wipe. Right? Like get away from the DIY people, the people that don't want to pay anything to get where they need to go. And anybody here that it's a DIY person, you really need to rethink that strategy because it's harder. So you can build a community, but you need to build the right community. And, you know, there's a lot that the healer kind of group, you get that kind that want to go in and they don't want to, they want to, you know, They want to talk about their own life. They want to talk about what's not working, but they don't want to do anything about it. They don't want to take the steps. They think they know it. Whatever. So, you know, you need to start calling all your clients, not to them, but these clients are this client is that group is this, and start shifting things and getting that stuff out of your energy that's not in alignment with what you want. And then, you know, doing things that is totally motivating. That's why you want to be able to do what you're, like, when it's such a passion for you to learn all those things. Is it a passion for you to do those things? Is it a passion for you to teach these things? Like, which things are your passion? Clearly the massage really isn't, but you're still making money off of it because there's something in you that says, I can make money off massage. So that's why it's working. You need that same, I can make money off my healings, just the same. I can make money off my classes. I can make money, like, I can do that. Like, you just have to give the energy to where you want it to be. Give the energy there. You're not giving the energy there.
Right.
Okay. So that's what you need to do to shift that. And really think about, you know, what would you do if it was just you, dependent on you to take care of you and your daughter?
Yeah.
And realize where that needs to, you know, where that needs to shift. So you just need to shift things and give the energy to the right places.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
Thank
Can you work with that for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Let's go to, because we're on kind of the same thing here. Let's go to Whitney. Hi, Whitney.
Hello.
So I feel blank about blank, and what's working with that and what's not working with that.
So I feel frustrated about work. So the one thing in my life that has worked for me is in my past experiences with work, I was in, you know, corporate America, multi-unit management and stuff. Give me a challenge, give me a project, I will nail it. No matter what, I will knock it out of the park. And now, you know, I was in retail, so unfortunately it's been a mess for the last 10 years, but I started reading cards and I really enjoyed it and it was really fun. And I could just knock that out of the park in the beginning. You know, it's like I would give really great advice and people, you know, responded really well. It's just, I don't know what it is. I think, is it working alone? What's not working for me is this kind of feeling like I'm alone. Like if I do a video or throw a card reading out there, it's like, who am I even talking to? You know, it's really been frustrating for me because I love doing it. And a lot of the stuff you're saying is totally me, like right where I am to the other ladies. So thank you for that. Yeah, I just feel it's just, I feel alone. Maybe that's what it is. I just feel like I'm alone.
Yeah. So you like human interaction.
Yes. And I have not been having any, trust me. Okay. And I have a family.
So well, that's different. I mean, that's different than your passion and your work. So is that what you want to be doing, and what is your main goal?
Well, I feel like lately I've been shifting away from just, no, it's not, you know, I need more, like you said, like, I feel like I'm missing out on the social part of it, like the social interaction, getting out. I don't really necessarily want to sit behind, you know, a computer or a video camera, even though it's fun. Like, don't get me wrong. It's like fun to do live readings and things like that because you are actually interacting. But for me, it's getting out. I think I just need to get out. Like I need to be around people.
But do you want to
hands-on?
Right. But is it readings that you want to do? Like, is that the work you want to do, is readings, and that's it?
Yeah, I really do like doing it. I just don't know that I want to. Yeah.
So do you need to, or have interest in also reaching certain money goals, or you just want to do this work and make money and enjoy it?
I mean, I do have this, I do have the stability of my husband, right? But after you said like, well, what would you be doing, if you didn't have him? I'm like, oh my God, I'd be so screwed.
Well, not everybody has to have the goal of making money.
Well, let's just put it this way. I made a lot of money before. We were very comfortable. I don't need a lot more. Let's just put it that way.
So it's not
sort of like steady Ed.
It's not a money thing. It's you want to do readings, but you need more social interaction. Is that right? Okay. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Before we go on, what was the one thing you stayed focused on and saw it through to the end, and why?
Well, like I was saying, okay. So the first thing that immediately came to mind was a few years ago, I was working for a company and I found out I was getting laid off, and I had to go through this massive liquidation. And it was a cluster from day one, and it wasn't at my hand. There was just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and it was crazy. I saw that thing from beginning to end. I had a 22,000 square foot location. Not a single thing was left. You could eat off the floor. I was so proud of that. I felt like it was the biggest accomplishment I ever had in my career. I saw it through to the end, despite multiple challenges. It was like one thing after another. And I locked those doors when I walked out, and I just was like, that was the most gratifying experience I ever had in my life.
Why?
I just enjoyed the whole thing. It was a sad situation. A lot of people lost their jobs, but, like my team stuck by me. We saw it completely through. We had ridiculous things thrown at us that we did not think we were it just felt really good. I like getting stuff done and doing it. I had a ball. I had a ball doing it. Even though I lost my job, I still had a ball. And it was like the gift that kept on giving. There was like residual things that happened afterwards that related to doing that I just felt really proud.
Okay. So you have the ability to follow things through even when they're difficult. And, and I also hear the camaraderie again come up. That's really important to you. So I'm hearing a few things for you. First of all, I want to say that in a past life, you were killed for being doing some kind of intuitive seer healer work, because I felt it right in the back of your neck, just pull you,
like the back of my skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm getting a lot of goosebumps there because I have a lot of pain there, actually.
Oh, so we're going to work on that. So that's one thing that's been stopping you. And what I'm hearing also for you is what you need to do. And of course, you have free will, so you take what you want. Just sit with it. Think about this. I see you doing your work on such a bigger scale. So there's a couple of things. The first thing is I'm hearing for you to dive in a lot deeper. Like you like to get in and get into the dirty and figure things out and sort things out and then fix it. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's painful, even if it's difficult, like even if it's a challenge, you love that. And you know what, how much you could help a person doing that. So I'm seeing more, it's okay to do readings, but I'm actually seeing you doing, because you want to work more with people, is actually doing some spiritual counseling where you could, of course, use cards if you want, but you don't need them. And you're going to have, I'm like seeing a higher level, not, again, this is not judging people on their level, but like women in business or professional women that really have some stuff to work through, but they don't know that there's this help that's not like medical, therapy kind of thing, where you can get in and use your intuition and really get to the heart of their stuff that they don't even know that helps out there. Like I see you, I keep seeing this office, like it could just even be like a one-person office if you want, where you are actually see people on an ongoing basis. You know how like a psychologist would do that? They don't always have to be that. They could start just coming for one thing, but ultimately having that, you know, that they're regular clients, monthly clients or twice a month clients or whatever, where you start getting a community. And once you start having that community, then you can start having some gatherings like, hey, I'm having this thing and I think you'd really fit in well. And getting these women, I've seen women, but
Yeah.
getting them together. And
Mhm.
so then they're like, they feel like they have a community and a support system. Like there's so many things you can do. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm seeing first. But I also see another avenue if you wanted to take it at some point where and you may not want to, but what they're showing me is you have the ability to build a team. Like, you know, you are leading this thing and you just hire a couple people that you train to do these things too. So it's more of like, that becomes a real thing. So that might be more than you want to deal with, but I am seeing, they're showing me that as an avenue. And so, boy, Cynthia's here in all levels. But I'm seeing those two avenues. So that might be something that you want to do later, but to get more interaction, you got to get yourself out from behind your computer and do that. So some of the other ways that you can do it that they're telling me is go do some talks at some, you know, a lot of new age stores have like, you know, you can go do like a talk or a workshop. I used to do that and I'd do it for super cheap. I'd do it like $10 or $5 just to get people there to do a quick little hour and a half or 2 hour cool experiential thing where that you lead them through something and they're like, wow, this is so cool. And then they want to sign up with you. And what you're doing is gathering emails. Like that's what I would do. That's how I would get my email list built up, is by doing these really inexpensive things. You have to charge something. Don't ever do anything for free because people don't value that.
Right. I do understand.
Yeah, $10. And, you know, we're going to do this really cool thing. And it's just a, you know, one little thing that you do, but it's an experiential thing. And you start building your list from that. And that can be how you start getting out and being around people. The other thing I'm getting for you is corporate events. There's a lot of corporate places that have events for their employees and stuff, and they like to hire people like doing readings and stuff that will go and do that for their corporate event. So I've seen, I think Crystal, you did one before, right?
Yeah, I did a guided meditation at like a high-end hotel, like spa resort thing here in town.
Right. So I mean, it also could be like when they have a team building thing, or even or you know, those are really good. Go to those businesses that lead team building. Like maybe not go to the business that's going to hire for that, but the place that they're hiring, they have clients that they work with. You know, go there and say, I'd like to, you know, put in my proposal, write a proposal for what you would like to do in a team building thing. Like, so they're saying, get out of your box and start thinking and more about what you can do to diversify and get out and do all of these different things. Like figure out which one sounded good to you. Is it that? Is it the corporate thing? Is it the having the office and having clients do that? And you know, maybe if you didn't want to just set up a client office right away, but you want the interaction. That's why the office is a But if you I mean, do you already have clients and stuff?
I have a few,
And are they local?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good, because then you can start having some circles. Like you could say, hey, I'm going to do this drum circle, or I'm going to do this angel night where I'm going to tell you about angels, or I'm going to teach you about, you know, we're going to do 4 weeks and I'm going to teach you about the cards, like a section of the cards each week. Like, you know, just do little things. They don't have to be big things. I used to do this called, oh gosh, I don't even remember what I called it. I would do it one Friday a month, and we would do a different subject. And sometimes I would invite people to come and do their thing for my people too.
Mhm.
So, and it was only 15 bucks, but that was a long time ago. But that's, you want to start, it's important for you to start building an in-person community, and you can do that. So
Yeah.
you just need to get out of your box.
I need to literally get out of my box.
Exactly.
This box that I'm in right now. Yeah.
Exactly. It's an okay box to, to get
Yeah.
on social media and do those things.
Yep.
But, you can start doing a little bit on social media and say, you know what, if you want more fun with this in person, I'm having this thing at this place.
Mhm.
So, maybe starting a group for your Facebook for your area.
Mhm.
Because you want, it's nice to have people in other areas, but you want to have the in-person. So you want to have a group, say, whatever the name is, based in whatever city. So people go, oh, I'm in that city.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that group. I didn't know that group.
Yeah,
was
there's a definite opportunity. There's definite opportunities in this area. It's a smaller community. There are not very many people like me,
Right.
So, but I know there's a lot of interest. It's just, having the confidence to pull the trigger.
Oh,
I mean, I'm generally
you
you
look very confident. If you're confident, because it's harder to do something on video and like this than going in person. Going in person is, this is harder because like what you said, who am I talking to? And I do want to acknowledge, you're probably talking to a lot more people than you realize.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've worked, I was a district sales manager, so I was always in front of a lot of people. I could talk in front. I'm not afraid to talk in front of groups. I think it's like, you want to see, I'm a visual person too. So it's like, I like to see who I'm talking to.
Okay. So why haven't you done that?
As a chicken.
Have you thought of these things? You chicken of what? You just said you're
I just, at the time, I just wasn't feeling very confident. It was kind of difficult to, lose my, I let go of my career. I knew it was necessary, and, getting into something new. And like you said, when you brought up the past life thing, I've had a real fear about putting myself out there doing this work.
Why?
I just had a lot of fear inside.
So you go on social media where you're blasting yourself out to the world.
I know. I'm making excuses right now. All right. I'm going out there.
You're out there. Like,
I'm clipping the wings.
Well,
I took a break. I shut things down a little bit for a while, but I'm feeling a lot better. Let's just say that.
And I'm feeling like you just need to hone it in closer to home, because you're if you don't want to work like this, this is not your audience to be here doing, not here, but you know what I mean? Being online, not to say you shouldn't, but
right.
Have that group that specifically says this group for this area, like start targeting your area and building a group. And it feels like you're needed, it's necessary, and you're going to be welcomed into it. Now, there's always going to be people that say stupid stuff. We all get it, no matter where we are.
Yeah.
That doesn't even, it's like, whatever.
Well, I had that happen just recently. That's one of the other things. And I think I mentioned that when I reached out in my message, and it was absolutely mortifying. I was like, dying over here thinking like, oh my God, what is wrong with people? It's a small, so I started getting all in my head and all scared, thinking that like I'd be walking down the street and someone would recognize me because it's that small of a community. And they would be like, you fraud, you huckster. Like,
okay. So let me just ask, I want to say, because you're afraid of it, that's why you attracted that.
I know. I do believe in the attracting, and I believe that I did do that.
And get ready, not get ready in a way like I'm getting ready because I want it. But when that happens, that you're going to do this. Because you know what? There's always going to be the dark side that if the dark side knows that all they have to do is just put someone in front of you that's going to intimidate you, that's going to be really easy. Like that's a piece of cake. to manipulate people to come tell you that you're this and that and this and that. So
Right.
that's definitely something like
Yeah.
pull that past life out. And, you know, if that happens, you're just going to go, you know what?
Yeah.
No.
Look in the mirror. No.
You know, it's just like, no, I'm not going there,
Yeah.
you know.
No.
Try
No, I
something
understand.
else, 'cause this it,
No,
you know,
this
you
is
just set yourself up. So when this happens, you do this.
yeah.
When that happens, you do that. And then stay really focused on what you want. It seems like when I'm getting your energy is you know what to do. This all makes complete sense to you, but there's something in the pit in you that's just not letting you do that. And
Mhm.
what I'm getting is as much as you love doing what you're doing, there's a part of you that just doesn't want to take what I'm hearing is the responsibility and just doing it.
Yes, I agree with you fully. I do. And now I feel,
me,
but I'm
besides.
feeling at the same time, it's like, go, you know, you got to push that part of yourself aside, right? And you just have to be like, nope. All right, I'm doing this. Period.
Well, you know what? For you, you know what you need to do. And it's like, it's not like it's going to be hard to say, you're not pushing it aside. You're saying, I'm not choosing to do that. I'm really like, how much do you really want to do this? Do you want to
Right.
do it? Like, be honest with yourself. Sometimes we say we want to do things, but we don't really want to do it. It's like, I do want to be around people, but I don't want to leave my house. Like,
No, I really do want to be around people and leave my house.
you do? Okay, because
Yeah.
I like, sometimes I say like, I want a guy, but I don't leave my house. Where am I going to find it? So, you know, that's like,
Well,
you know.
yeah. Well,
So-
I could read you, Cindy, and tell you why. No, I'm kidding. I get lots of relationship people for some reason, but yeah. But no,
So-
I do. It's just, I feel like it's not even a matter of, it's just being clear, you know, just getting the clarity that, yeah.
Well, you're clear that you had this past life that's been in your way. So when we know past lives come up, it just gives us clarity to say, oh, that's residue and it doesn't belong in this life. I'm going to let that go. The other thing for you is to decide what you want to do outside of your house and then focus on that. And that's basically, I mean, it's 1, 2, 3. You know, and if you keep stopping yourself, you really just want to ask yourself, like, I'm making excuses to do this. Do I really want to do this? Because if I really wanted to do this, I would be doing it.
Right.
Because you've done things that have been very difficult, but you did it because you wanted to do it. So if you're not doing it, you might want to ask yourself, is this really what I want to do?
Right. Well, during our downtime that we have for a few more weeks, is about getting clear. You know, I'm using this time as wisely as I can, you know, because now that I want to go out of my house, it's like, oh, great.
No, you can already start doing things.
Yes, absolutely.
So what do you need to get clear on? I'm kind of confused on that.
No, I meant I was using this time to get clear, you know, that I feel like there's always a silver lining in things that happen, and the opportunity, you know, has been there for me to sit down and really decide what I want to do, what my next steps are. You know, I feel confident in the things that you were suggesting for me today. And definitely you've confirmed a lot of things for me.
Awesome.
A lot of things that I've been thinking. So thank you for that.
Okay. So yeah, I would just say if you find yourself not doing it, to ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Because you would do it if you really wanted to.
Right. And I wrote that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, Christina.
All right. So
I feel blank about blank. What works about that and what doesn't work about that?
well, I feel excited about my business is the statement, but I didn't actually write down what works and what doesn't, except now off the top of my head. The excitement can also be a distraction because I tend to just think about a lot of things, and it's the narrowing it down to one thing that can be tough for me. So then I will get distracted and maybe go out and take a walk to try to get grounded, and I'll think about stuff, and then I'll be kind of on another page. So the focus to, anyways, there's a lot into this. The business, what is the business? I do facials and I'm an esthetician, and that's the thing that I've saw through in my life was going to beauty school and then continuously working in my field for 20 years. And I realized, it's actually always been kind of uncomfortable for me. I always feel like I've had to push through a lot. And then I guess every time I do get comfortable, I put myself into a new situation, which is most likely for growth, such as like going into business for myself. Or, when I moved from Northern California to LA, figured it out, then moved back here, figured it out. And now it's always kind of the same thing. And I think everything we've talked about makes a lot of sense as far as upgrading clients. And I think I've had to take time to get clear on what am I doing. And now you've got in social media, and it's, you've got all these people presenting things that aren't even licensed estheticians. So there's all these realms of beauty and defining myself and then asking, is that what I really want to do? And I think I've always really liked working with people and energy. And now is the time of my life where money, monetary value, I want to make money.
So do you
With
want,
the energy that I put out. I
okay,
have to put out tons of energy
right,
just to be the greatest or do the best I could, to help to make the experience the greatest.
right.
So I'm
So
rambling,
do
but
you want to see people in person and do things online, or what do you
yeah,
want?
I'm actually excited to do things online. Even when we message to get a store on my website so I can make money. I think I like to make money now with using less energy because I get drained.
Right.
And then to show up, I need energy.
So would you be okay not seeing people in person, or is that something you still want to do?
No, I still want to do that
Okay.
because
So
I
you
get
want to do,
excited about making the physical changes in person, with my touch and products and whatnot.
okay.
But I will say that listening today and thinking of light activation is maybe time to come back to looking at healing work. And, I think it's time to tap into that other stuff that I have,
Right.
because
Right.
sometimes it's very, the material world is kind of
Okay.
overwhelming.
So do you have time with your client load now to add more client work?
Well, I have lots of time.
You do?
Yeah, because I'm not able to work. At most, I can sell
Oh, well,
products.
now,
Yeah,
but
now,
normally.
yeah, I have time.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted. I feel like I've manifested a lot of what I wanted. And I've actually been like kind of careful on what I'm bringing in because I want to
Okay.
be ready for it.
Right. So how are you with schedule? Like, if you had to diversify your schedule to your clients that you have now, clients for, healing work, clients, and then the online stuff, do you feel like you could easily stick to some sort of schedule to make sure that all the areas are covered?
Yes, one thing that helps me, I always show up for my clients. We do online booking. So, I mean, when I have an appointment, I'm there, and it keeps me motivated and excited. And in recent time, I've felt like it's very good for me to have appointments and things to go to, because then I get ready really quick and I'm there, and then I'm present, and I like being present in my work because I'm
Okay.
someone that gets anxiety and
So your clients,
whatnot, and has
what
been through
would,
depression. But I
what,
think all that was necessary.
what did you say?
Your screen is frozen. I said I am someone that experiences anxiety and
Oh,
depression. It says the
okay.
internet's unstable. That's weird.
Oh, it's your connection. Okay, so your clients, what, I don't even know how to even say this like in the right way, but if you could say your clients are regular price range or high-end clients, where would you put them?
I would like more high-end clients, and I've worked on restructuring, because one of my things about being too nice So, okay, I do offer facials and I sell products, and a lot of people won't, we're not buying products from me. And I switched product lines, and that made a big difference because of how I felt about the products that I now sell. Yet I still come up with, I have clients with lots of money and they go to Sephora and whatnot, and it's almost kind of interesting. And so I started
It's
pushing one product at,
insulting.
yeah, I push one product at a time and and I've been able to get clients that I had for 5 years that never bought anything to start buying things with little shifts. But overall, I want to attract clients, and I put it out there that value me, my recommendations, and what I offer. So yes,
Right,
it's insulting if they don't want to, fully commit.
right.
Kind of been a
So
lot of restructuring in that.
yeah, one thing I'm hearing about that was that for you to go for a higher end client. And if you want your products to be part of that, you really have to start showcasing like this business, whatever you call it, is, has these premier products, and these products like really, push how, not push it, but put how these products really help with this and that, and, all of that. Like you got to make that website juicy about why these products are so good. Come in and experience them, have this amazing facial that does this and that and that. So you're not just selling facials and hoping they'll buy products, but you're highlighting products and you're highlighting your services. And, this is a high end, I called myself my, one of my things, what did I say? A high-end experience? No, high-end experience for a high-end result.
That's
And when
good.
you say that, people know this is high-end. And people who want high-end are going to be all over that. They're going to be like, ooh, this is, I've been trying all these products and they're okay, but I've been looking for like the thing that's really going to work. So you have to put that out there in that way. Like these are premium services, these
Right.
products and and the service that you're
It's not just
providing,
gimmicks. Yeah.
and,
It's
just promote it. Like, don't be regular. Don't be like I fit in with the regular estheticians that are doing, no, like, how a spa would like, these are beautiful high-end this and whatever, like that's what you need to bring that energy and start selling that energy, because then you're going to get those people, and those people are going to want to buy all your stuff. You make the facial and the products part of the system. And you can even do packages where the facial comes with products. Like, start shifting to that model, shift your model into, if you want to sell your products and do the facials, then shift it to that. And then for your online people, we talked about that, was, doing some demonstrations, but doing one little thing, on every video. Like the first video, I'm going to teach you really how to clean your face and what's important and what you're doing, and how this product is going to make that better. Like it's about selling those products when you're giving the
I think that's where the influencers are nailing it. If you watch the makeup tutorials, they
yeah,
even add skincare and then they list what they're using.
exactly. And
That's a
so,
whole nother kind of a block for me to go present myself live doing that, which I'm gonna have to
well, if that's not your thing, then don't do
just
it.
based on recent things that happened last year, like to myself physically.
Okay, so this is the thing. You have a couple
I'm
things.
trying not to let that be a crutch for me.
Okay, but if it's, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, am I going to do this or I'm not going to do it? Because if you
I
just
think
let
there's
it
ways
hang over
around
your
it.
head and
Because I
then
think
not
if
do it,
holding up the three, yeah, you're right. I
it'll
have to find
just,
the way that feels right.
right. If it's not gonna, if you're not gonna do it, like you just said, am I gonna do this realistically? It sounds great. I'll talk about it, but I'm not gonna do this.
Right.
And then ask yourself, why am I not going to do this? Don't make yourself feel guilty and put it as a burden, because you're not going to do it. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. So maybe you work first on building this high-end new packaging thing. Do you have a website?
So I have a website, And the girl that did it for me, we did it by trade, and then she got another job and got extremely busy, and I needed her to because I needed some changes, so she put me in touch with another girl, and I can't tell you why, but I never even read the email. We talked on the phone, and she says, I'll send you my proposal, and for whatever reason I never even opened it. I don't know
Well,
if I just
you
wasn't on
have
her
to decide what you want.
vibe, or if it's my block, you know.
Right.
Am I like, do I hate myself, or was it just that I didn't think she was the right person, or
Well, it's tough dealing with
there's,
people like that.
there's a few
That's why I'm
things.
doing my own website. So, you know, so you have a couple of things going. So you want to
And I could do my
tailor
own.
those,
That's
you
my
want to
next
tailor those packages. And if you want to do your healing work, then you got to put your energy, start with one, and then, you know, think about how you can do the other one, right? So on Thursdays, I'm going to do only healing sessions, you know. I don't know if you would do that in the same place where you're doing your facials, or are you doing them remote? I don't
Well,
know
you could
how.
do it anywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
If that's
So,
what
you
I
know,
want.
you have to just, your thing is you have to decide which one you're going to actually do and which one is most important to you. And to me, I'm feeling like it's getting those high-end packages into gear, because you live in the perfect area, like the Bay Area.
Right.
You're living in the gold mine area. You could,
Well,
you
I
know,
have a few things kind of that block with that is I left Oakland. I got myself 2 locations, Walnut Creek and Oakland. I left Oakland and I kind of left some clients behind, and I've been building in Walnut Creek, but I'm not 100% with my current location. And now I'm coming up with having to pay rent, and you know, we might not be working for a few months. So I'm trying to decide, should I drop the location and find another one, or just stick with it? And the things I don't like about it are you know, my flooring was supposed to be fixed and it hasn't, and there's just always things that, and it saw me through to where I'm at now. But I'm just, yeah, I'm trying to, you know, there's always these things. Should I do this? Should I do that?
well, yeah. And what is it about you that doesn't like change, number one, and won't make a decision? Like, you have to start making a decision. Like, this is my choice. What is my decision? And start forcing yourself to make decisions. And
And I
then,
think,
yeah, go ahead.
and it goes into the loop of what we talked in the beginning about the consistency with how we have to be consistent with energy. Well, when I feel like I have clients coming in, like I realize that one week might be better than the next based on how many clients I have. So then the energy is good. And then suddenly the books are empty the next week and that energy kind of drops. And then I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't get another location if I'm not bringing in enough money.
Right. So
So
that's why you want to start getting these package deals where people come in every month or every, you know, I don't
they've
know.
already
I
paid.
would go to mine and we would do series of peels. Like, we would do these series, and then between that we would be doing different things. Like, we had a
You're a
plan,
good client. Yes.
you know.
That's the right client that
Uh-huh.
wants to do the series.
Yeah.
Okay, we
And
need to peel your
have
skin.
right, has a plan, like wants to see the results. So that's what you want to, you know what, if you're not going to work right now, and that place isn't feeding your soul, I would just let it go. Why pay rent on it? That doesn't even
I
make
should
sense.
tell her, because I almost sent the text today and I decided that would be the thing I ask here.
I mean, and then you
I
can
told her
always,
I don't.
you can
Yeah.
find, in the meantime, you can look around at other properties. There's always somewhere, you know. And
Right.
so yeah, I would just, that's not the place. And in the meantime, while you have time off, is to start figuring out what your package is, what your plans are, and how you can, you know, what you need, so you can actually get a website and have all that information for that to be, you know, figure out your 3 packages or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah. This
And
has been on a list of my packages.
oh, there you go. So I'm feeling that's what, instead of overwhelming yourself with trying to do 3 different things, the healing and the online stuff, start with this, because that's going to be the easier thing for you to do. That's the thing that is the least resistant. That's what you want to do. That's what you've been wanting to do. And that's what you've been doing, except you just need to do it on a higher scale. And it's a much easier to work with people with money than people that are not willing to invest in their skin. And You know, the other, I don't know how you feel about working in a, I'm feeling this is a no, but just to put it there, you know how dermatologists have estheticians in their office? That's a
I
great
was
way to,
thinking it would be good to do something even if it's part-time, because I'm pretty much working part-time now.
yeah, because that's
So
a
if I could
great
up
place.
my skills.
That's a great place to sell products. And I know my esthetician, both of them left there, and I stayed with them instead of staying with the dermatologist office because I like their work. So you know, that could be a way just to get some regular income in where they're just giving you the clients. I know you have to deal with, you know, that, but that might be a good, like you said, a part-time thing. So focus on that, seeing what you can, you know, contacting the people in your area, and then check out a few other spots, offices. You know what? I don't know why I keep getting this. Like, I know it's probably easier to have all your stuff there. So that's probably why you want to have your own office. But maybe that's not all the way necessary until you start. Well, no, I'm not getting that.
Well, I know I get it, because it's like if I'm not seeing client, I might have these packages ready for 2 to 3 months from now, or even July.
Right.
I don't know if we're working in.
Right. So
This
maybe, you know, check out the dermatologist because maybe that's what carries you while you're getting this other thing in order.
Right. Well, yeah, there is possibly someone I could work with that I can bring clients to, and she contacted me last year. It's a doctor, but she's kind of, I felt the energy is she is very much, you know, likes to control her whole thing, so she doesn't
Well,
really hire
a lot
people.
of people are like that, but only work where you want to work.
Yeah,
Don't fall into a trap.
yeah, that's what I've been
So,
avoiding.
yeah.
That's why working for yourself seems, you know, working for myself. I avoid other.
Right. Right. So, and
outside
if you
myself.
think about it, it's not a permanent thing. That way you're just doing this to help ease the financial thing while you're building this other portion. Because once you get your high-end clients, you won't need to be there anymore. Okay, so you're going to focus on that.
Okay.
I know you'll do that. Okay.
I have time.
All right. Cynthia, let me undo you. There's so many of you.
Hello.
Hello. So how, I feel blank about blank and what works and what doesn't work.
I brought up the issues of being
You know what?
calm.
Wait a minute.
Pardon?
I'm trying to think of how to make that
I think you did it before, but I couldn't possibly tell you how. You muted
I muted
some.
myself. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
I think it's her computer too, but if she turns it off, then we won't.
Oh, I don't even want to think of that will be like.
Okay, so I'm going to mute
I
myself.
apologize, everyone. Okay.
Turn your speaker off
No, I wouldn't know how to do
or
that.
audio on the computer.
Don't know where that is.
Do you know how to turn off your computer?
No, I know how to turn it off, but then that would be probably the end of this whole thing.
No, well, you'll be on the phone. You just won't see us.
What happened when you muted yourself before? I think I could do that.
Yeah, I just did it now and it didn't help.
Okay, well, just go on here, talk anyway.
Yeah, it's really echoing. So I think you need to turn off your computer.
Literally press the button on the side.
You know what? I'm just gonna, you don't do anything. I'm gonna remove that. Let me see if that works. Okay, try it now.
That seems better. How about for you?
That's great.
Oh, good. Okay. So the issues that I was bringing up for myself is about just simple peace, being calm, staying in the present, which is always been a problem for me. And I've been thinking obsessively for the last, well, forever, but the last 3 years, selling my house. And it's like a linear life coming and going with that. But the blank that I was to fill in was to be, I feel hopeful, actually primarily because of you, Cindy, things that I learned back in 2009 with affirmations and just who you can tap into. And that sustains me. It sustains me in a huge way, but it's still not enough because I feel at my age, I really should be able to be calm and just not on the edge all the time, worrying about things that are, you know, I mean, everybody worries about everything, right?
Right.
So that's a block, but jumping down, well, I'll let you go from there before I say
So
another word.
if you fill in the blank, I feel blank about blank, and what about that works and what doesn't work, what would you say?
Feeling hopeful works because actually it does, the whole word concept of hopeful, but I can't sustain that the way I want to in simple daily life. Curiously, during our lockdown here, I felt calmer in a way that I haven't felt in a long time because I've reflected on a lot. I've had a lot of gratitude for a lot of things lately. And I don't know if that's what's absent from my life on a regular basis of just plugging into what I do have, because more often than not, I'm thinking about what I don't have.
Right. This is interesting. Okay. So what is the one thing that you stayed focused on and saw it through to the end, and why?
There were two things, but I actually think I want to concentrate on this one because it concerns you. And probably, I would say the biggest thing in my life was learning my light activation, following through with finding you, number one, the seminar that I nearly didn't go to.
Right.
Taking it, I was so starved for spiritual everything at that point. I'd gone through crystals, skulls, you name it, but I was on the road, so I found you and then took those classes all the way through and went to Egypt twice. And that's probably the biggest thing I can think of that I followed through with true passion.
That's great.
The other one I could mention, but it doesn't have anything to do with this. I see the part that passion plays in our life around anything.
Right.
But I was good at, I think I still am good, a channel for light activation. I had clients.
Wow.
I got feedback. Got feedback that I loved. People became very dear to me. My daughter, in her esthetician world in LA at that time, I got a lot of clients from her. And then it's word of mouth. I don't have to tell you, but I never created a website. I never did anything with it beyond be glad whenever I got a client, be glad when I got to get that feeling that you get from, you know, healing.
Right.
And then I've let that ebb. It's still there. It's still in me.
Right. So,
I don't know how much that correlates with staying calm and peace of mind, because frankly, sometimes I would get very nervous. You know, I would worry, well, am I getting the right message? Is blah, blah, blah. I'd remember what you said about if that's what you're getting, that is the right message. And really, honestly, always it was.
right.
But channeling and pursuing light activation healings actually made me nervous. I can't really answer why, just the overwhelm of it. Like, I'm not good. You see, I'm not good with the computer. I'm not a fast typist. It's like snail typing. And I think actually my gift from all the guides is I write well. I mean, that's why I give a good light activation. I can channel and write well in a way that people can understand what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, they can get the message through the way I write it.
So
but that was
when you said
go on.
when you said you didn't have a website, I mean, do you care?
No, I've never cared. I don't actually respond to online things.
Okay,
but
great.
That's how I find things. So,
Right.
you know, what can I say? It's not my passion.
But I mean, what's not your passion? Having a website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's put it this way. I could do it. I mean, maybe I should do it.
No, I mean, it's up to you. If you want, more people, it's just easier when you have that. But obviously you've gotten clients without it. So if that's good, then that's good.
Well, the well is dry now. I mean, there's always somebody who wants one, but I would like to be paid for them, as you say. That's actually a part of the value of having one.
Exactly.
People pay complete attention. They have a document that they can read over and over.
Right. Right.
And I've given them for free for people that need them, and I've liked doing that. But lately, I've been in just this linear thing of moving, selling my house, and I feel like my life will, in quotations, begin again. Once I do that, I'll feel home free. So I've been wasting quite a bit of my life being obsessed about that.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I'm getting for you. When you were saying like you tend to worry and all of that stuff, but and then you talk about feeling limited or in lack. When all of a sudden the shutdown came, you said, "Oh, but actually I've been, feeling." I don't remember what you said, but you were feeling better as that happened, which was probably strange to you, right?
Yeah, I actually felt calmer, because I was in a mode of reflecting on everything good that ever happened to me.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting. You feel more comfortable being in a limitation. So when things when you got closed, you got shut down, it created a boundary, your world became smaller, it became confined, you felt more calm. When you have openness, like when abundance, like, also you feel you mentioned lack. That's also, a closing. And that's where you feel comfortable. Now, maybe you don't like lack and maybe you don't feel comfortable in lack, but there's something about that energy of being closed off that you feel more comfortable and calm. When you start talking about the sky's the limit, the energy's open, abundance is everywhere, and we're talking about expansion, that's where you feel uncomfortable. It's too open. It's too big. And you just feel a lot more calm and safe in a closed off space. So when you close off,
how fucking scary is that?
It's interesting. It's really interesting.
You know what? When you said it, I can't deny it because it clearly is true.
It's true, because some people are like that, where they really want abundance, but they feel very, I know somebody who has kids, she taught them since they were little about manifesting and angels and being open, the sky's the limit. And they are actually pissed at her, saying, you brought us up terribly. And they're like these hardcore Christians. And they say, you're like doing
I'm not that
work. And, we should all we're sinners, and we should, you need to repent. And so I told her they needed limits. They needed boundaries. And you gave them the sky's the limit, everything's open, you can have everything you want. And they're pissed because they don't feel comfortable there. They feel very comfortable with having strict boundaries and being put in their place and whatever that. So you have that. Maybe it's not the same way. You feel safer when you have a container. And so, that's the other thing with the website, that's going to open things up for you. Right now you're in a little container, and if the work comes to you, you feel comfortable there. But if it was starting to pour in on you, you'd probably get really overwhelmed. And so receiving money for your work, that's also meaning you need to open to allow that in, where that doesn't, you want it, but it feels uncomfortable because you only have so much space where you like to be within that boundary. So what I'm hearing for you is to think about, now that you know this, that what is included in that boundary? What have you allowed to stay in that boundary? And what have you not allowed to be in that boundary? Like where do you need to, because I feel that boundary is very concentrated, that you have everything in there that you allow, but everything else you kind of push it away. Like, no, like that doesn't fit in my boundary. That doesn't feel good. And when you go to the expansion, it just feels really uncomfortable because you don't know how to be in that. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel, it feels like, your walls just got knocked out of your house and you don't feel safe. So I keep hearing confined in the boundary. So what you really wanted to start doing, I feel your heart just having this pressure, like it's just constricting, like, it's too small for you. Even though you feel comfortable there, it's giving you a lot of discomfort because it feels way too small for you. You do have the ability to feel abundant and be abundant. And you do like that feeling. You like the feeling of expansion, but for some reason you're holding on to that closed off energy where you feel safe. You don't feel safe in having, oh, more's coming. You don't feel safe in having all that you desire and all that you want. You don't feel safe there. You feel more safe blocking it out because you know what's within the confines of this boundary. And you may like it and you may not like it, but you know it, and you're afraid to let yourself have everything that you really want. Like everything out. It's like being in a room with bars on the door, and all you have to do is push those bars open and walk out there, but you're just staying behind the bars, like you can't do that. And then you're looking through the bars going, oh, that looks so nice out there. That looks really nice, but I'm stuck in here, but there's not even a lock. All you have to do is push the door to go out there. There's a part of you that does not feel like you deserve that. So,
well, I thought I'd gotten rid of all that garbage. I even go to a holistic doctor that has a psychic side, and I clear for these things all the time. I'm very open to clearing them, and they do get cleared. But as he said, they can come back.
well, I don't think that things necessarily come back if you've worked on them. I feel like you just go deeper levels into clearing them. Because whenever I know that I get like, oh, I thought I already dealt with that, and here it is again. Well,
there's always a new face. That's true. I just wonder how many faces. I mean, I'm probably older than anybody in this group. I don't know, but the next years are precious. Who knows how long any of us are going to live? I would really like to cut the shit, with this stuff, because I'm smarter than that. I'm very smart.
Right.
I ask for help. I ask for help all the time, and I know where to ask, and I know how to ask for it.
Right.
What part of me doesn't receive it, or why?
No, you're receiving it. See, that's where you're blocking things, because you're like saying, I'm not doing, like I did this, I'm not receiving it. I asked for help. And I'm not doing this. You are doing it. But when it comes back again, this time you're coming back to it. You're at a different place than you were the last time. So we're at this place, and now you have to look at it from this place and this level, that it's coming back to work on more. Sometimes, most times, almost 99% of the time, we're not going to clear big things all at once or twice or even 3 times. It's a life thing. And you just take it with a grain of salt, like, oh crap, it's back. And I'm just going to deal with it and move through it again. Then fine. Like, don't hang yourself on the cross because you didn't get through it. This happens to all of us. So I'm not even.
Yeah, I'm not berating myself for that or anything. It's just something I ardently want.
Right. So it's about getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Like I thought
that's what I was doing.
Well, no,
getting comfortable.
Are you comfortable in I mean, you're in it.
Obviously not. That's why I'm,
No,
I addressed.
I mean, there's the uncomfortable of where you are that doesn't feel good, but I'm talking about outside of that gate. where it doesn't feel comfortable for you to be in that experience. It's like you want it, you love it when you're in there, but it doesn't give you the safety and security of being in the confines of things. So there is an uncomfortableness about being in that expansion and being okay that, you know what, why am I feeling uncomfortable when this feels good? You know, and again, I'm feeling that pressure on your heart chakra. Like there's something related to the heart chakra of feeling, if you go into that, you might just change your life so much that you wouldn't maybe, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just giving a very extreme example.
Okay.
If you were to go into that expansion and you really felt really good in that, you might feel so good that you may not need your husband. And I'm not saying that you're doing that. I'm giving you an extreme because there's something in your energy that doesn't want that to happen. So I better stay, and not that. I'm not saying that exact example. I'm just giving you a huge contrast that would get your attention. But to feel like you would lose something that you don't want to lose. It could be,
Oh, I understand.
you know, it could be anything, your house, your daughter, your dog, whatever.
I've decided perhaps that it's my house. You know, that's just it's a conscious decision. It's an obsession.
Right.
I mean, it's just bugging me beyond anything probably anybody could understand, and why should they? You know,
Well,
it's my focus.
You're funny. No, but with the house is like you want to sell your house, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so selling your house, like going out into that uncomfortable territory of expansion, you might just sell your house. What part of you, there's a part of you that still wants to be miserable in those confines of the house. I'm not saying it's making you miserable, but you know, it's not what you want.
Well, I'd love to understand that. I mean, we tried and failed with a bad realtor. We didn't do it last year because we were so exhausted by our failure. Everything is in our garage. You wouldn't imagine. Well, we learned to live with less, you know, in terms of furniture and every other thing, which I really am grateful for. But then now the plague came, and of course no one's selling anything, and it's just all these interesting obstacles have gotten in the way.
So have you tried just saying, okay, I accept the fact that we're still here and that, you know, this house is going to sell when it's going to sell?
I actually did, and recently too. It's less. I'm not afraid of that particularly, and it will happen. That's where it's like being on a cliff. It will happen.
Right.
That's about as far as I go.
What would the worst thing that could happen if you didn't sell, if that house never sold?
Truly not having enough money. It would be uncomfortable. You could figure things out that you didn't want to do,
Right.
and you would probably do them, but they're nothing that I want. So I'm very dismissive of that.
So what?
It would not be in any way, shape, or form the life I want to live. And since I consider, you know, there's X numbers of years to live, I want to live them more or less the way I hope to and would want to, rather than the obvious of like a word survival comes to me. That's great, you know, but I would like more than that.
Right. So you're not going to go here. I'm just making you go here. If you ended up never selling that house, how would that make you feel? If you had to do whatever you just said you would have to do, how would that make you feel?
I'd say the first word that comes to me is sad. No other word.
And
just like,
what would be the worst? What would be the worst thing about feeling sad about it?
That I didn't get to do the things I wanted to do or thought I was going to do, or be convenienced. And like my right knee's jelly. This house is for young people. You know, it's got lots of steep stairs. It's not a convenient home anymore, and it's 1939. There's always going to be something, you know, that needs fixing, and we're not in that space anymore.
Right.
Neither of us are working anymore.
So what you said is it's not convenient, and I forgot what you said right before that. It's
Plus, I never liked it. I mean, I developed a yard in front of my house strictly to live in because I have so disliked this house. I always thought I'd leave in 5 years, but I never did. And I've lived here for 40.
Right. Oh, wow. That house really has cords to you. And you have
It
cords
has.
to it. Oh, you said that you would never, one of the worst thing, or you'd feel like you never did what you wanted to do. Again, I go back to that little girl standing at the gate that's completely unlocked, that looks outside and says, oh, I really want out there, but I can't, but the door's right open. So what I'm hearing is, and you know, you're probably going to sit here and go, well, I don't know how that is, but what I'm hearing is, this is what I'm hearing. You're making it harder than you have to on yourself as far as getting out of that house. It is, as much as it doesn't feel good and you're ready to go, it does give you some sort of a security to be confined there, even though it's it seems to be very uncomfortable in many ways. But I heard you have outgrown it, and you have outgrown those walls. And I am hearing to, this is the guidance I'm hearing, so you just put it in your back pocket and let it simmer. Go ahead. I mean, once all of this stuff is done that we're dealing with, and start putting your focus on finding a place that you want to go, that is the price that you want to go, and start thinking about, you know, finding the place, looking at that city, and even if it starts with online, really getting into the energy, the demographics, everything about it, and just keep saying, oh, it's time to let go of this house. I'm ready to be comfortable in this new place. It feels so much better over in this new place, and I'm ready to open that gate and walk out. In fact, I'm walking out that gate right now in this exercise. And it's basically like freeing, you know, taking the chain off that has you hooked there and allowing yourself to move forward. You may have done this before, but it's time to do it again.
Yeah, I think I do 3/4 of that all the time. For instance, I'd like to go to Southern California, but I'm in a marriage. Like I love Topanga Canyon. I love Calabasas. I have a complete fantasy about living down there. But I don't have to. I think I just need to get out of here. So my focus is always on what I want and where I want to go, but it doesn't necessarily coincide with what my husband wants. So we have to work with that, within that.
Well, there you go. You guys need to get on board, right? If you guys want to sell the house, you guys got to get on board. So,
well, on board for selling, but it's, again, they're standing on the cliff. So, we both don't necessarily agree.
Oh, does he want to sell the place or not?
He does not want to, but he is willing to do so. He sees the value of it in his way.
Okay, so you're going to have to push the pedal a little bit and get him on board with.
I thought it was on the floor, hon. Really.
No, because you're saying but I have a husband and he's not where I am. You guys got to get on the same page. And so you're going to have to say, we need to get on the same page because this house needs to sell. So where are we going to go? We're going to do this together, but we need to do it together. That's where the problem is. You're both not at the same place.
Well, I'll go with that.
So
bless you, Cindy. Thank you.
Well, don't feel like depressed about it. Be excited about it. Get him.
I actually am. I have excitement about it.
Get him excited about it. So
I don't really know how to do that anymore because he's just very rooted here. I don't know why. I've stopped asking.
Well, so he doesn't. I mean, it basically comes down to either you're going to sell the house or you're not.
Yeah, we will. It's just I would like it to be more flow than, obstacle.
Okay, so I would be doing some spirit to spirit with him.
Oh, okay.
And, sending good thoughts to his head about it. And, planting seeds about wonderful places and options, a few different options. Which one out of these do you like? You know, even if he doesn't seem that interested, just keep gently putting things in front of his face. And if you had to pick one, which one would you like and why? Why would you like that? Oh, I like it because of this. I like it because of that. Like, don't make it a, you know, just start continually introducing it to him. You got it?
Spirit to spirit or in real
Both.
time?
Both.
Okay.
And just, you have fun with the process. I mean, it might take him a while to come around, but it seems like if you're persistent with it and you do it in a kind of light way, but continuous, it will edge him more and more to it.
That's good.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
always. Oh, I want to ask you just a vanity question. I mean, I feel I'm good at light activation. Do you get a message about that?
Of course you are. You always have been. And the way you get better at it is you keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Keep doing it. I know that. I worried that some of the team had fallen off, but the ones you had, you always have, right?
Or new ones come in and out depending on the time.
Well, the need, I know, but I mean, I did build up. I did build up my group.
Well,
Yep.
got
Okay.
it.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Do more.
Okay.
I will.
All right.
So should I? Oh, so the screen. Let's see if anything comes back
You're-
on.
You're fine. Oh, no, you would have to log back on. So just listen.
Okay, I'll just listen. That's fine. I
Okay.
couldn't see anyone anyway. Thank you for being there, everyone. I enjoyed everyone.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Karen. Thank you for your patience. Oh, I have to unmute you. All right.
Now?
So I feel blank about blank and what works with that and what does not work.
I felt encouraged for finding my light. I just I have moved forward from Abuse Central. You know that. And I found more strength in my walk with my higher power, with God. I find more importance in my life when I'm at recovery, helping people stay in the light, stay in recovery. But my downfall, my pit, I find the spirit of disrespect seems to find its way back to me, and I don't know how I'm attracting it or how to detour it.
Okay. So you feel what about what in regards to that?
I just I feel distracted by the grumblings of other people, because that will my energy is fine until I get around, because being empathic, and then you bring on like I don't know where this disrespect came from, because like I'm offering love and my heart is open, and you people want to kick me in the teeth.
Okay. So what was the one thing that you stayed focused on, saw it through to the end, and why?
It was getting out of a toxic marriage, because it was going to kill me. That was my focus and my understanding. And as soon as I got out, I mean, that was getting out of it was the biggest God wave I've ever seen. And I just surrendered there then. I was like, whatever you want to do with me, like I'm down, like I'm in this game with you.
Right.
And I found more peace and more love and more healing, just staying in his presence.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you, first of all, you probably know some of this stuff, but also I'm hearing for you that sometimes when people tell you things, you do know a lot because you've been through a lot. But instead of just, oh, I got this, I know this, really stop and listen to what is coming your way, because sometimes there are nuggets in there that you're missing because you're like, oh, I got this, but you don't. You do, but you don't, because you're still having these issues, right? So you had the ability to leave a really bad thing and follow that through. In fact, I was shocked that you actually did it as fast as you did. Like when you told me you did it, I was like, dang, I never even expected her to really,
No, I just bounced. Like God just showed up and I bounced.
It was amazing, because I didn't expect that from you. When you said I left, I'm like, whoa, she really did it. Like, that's so cool. So you have the ability to leave, deal with some really hard things. But what I'm hearing is there is a dark side. And if it knows it can come in and infiltrate you and put people in your life that, disrespect you in this case, or whatever they do, it's going to keep doing that until you show up for yourself and stop allowing it to happen. Like, the minute it shows up is the minute you leave. Like, you don't say, well,
you don't hang around for red flags.
Right. It's like, this happened and that's not okay. And I've already been through hell and back, and there's no way I'm going to just even entertain this for another second. Like, bring me home, or you can leave. This is not what I'm about. And what I'm hearing is that you really have to make higher choices, not settle, not fall into the trap. Because what I'm seeing is there's a dark side that's trying to lure you in through people that appear to be one way, but they're completely another way. So you are being fooled and manipulated by the dark side, because it has been able to do that with you. And so you get into the situations to begin with, and then that you shouldn't, there's, what I'm hearing is for you to don't go into situations, like, give it a lot of space, give it the rope to see if it hangs itself first. So you don't have to keep going in and then getting out of it again. Like, what I'm hearing is you don't need to save everyone. You don't have to drench everyone with love, the love that they look like they need. No, you need to be the one to hold your space, hold your self-love, and receive love. They're saying you give, you're just emptying all your goodness onto people constantly, and most of the people you're doing that for can't really receive all of it. And when you're doing that, it will make them angry, because you're asking them to receive way more love than they are able to receive. And and energetically, they will resent you for that. So they'll start doing things.
Capable, and I'm bottom feeding.
And you're doing things. I mean, they will start resenting you and treating you like crap. So you'll back off from loving them so much. It's not so they're disrespecting you. They want you to back up. They don't want all that love because they can't receive it all. Now, do they know this? No, they don't know this, but that's what's happening. So, when you overgive, people will start disrespecting you to get you to be pissed off and pull yourself back, because they don't want all of that. They don't know how to receive it. So you need to start reaching for people that are more at your level, that are equal, where you give and take and give and take. It's not like you just drown yourself, drown somebody in your love, because they're going to give you pushback. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of lower level energies coming your way, because they look for that nurturing. They think that you are going to take care of them in some way, but then they get in it and they can't handle it. So it feels like these people actually want something from you, and it may not be love. It's maybe I'm hearing companionship. It could be that you would take care of them. They're looking for that mother type, but they don't want they don't want to be drenched in love. They really don't. So you have to start pulling back and stop being so forthcoming. It's like, what if you walked by everyone and everyone you walked by, you dumped a bucket of water on them, say that was love. And you just was like dumping buckets of love that were like water on people. They're like, I didn't ask for that. Like, even though it's a nice thing to do, they weren't asking for that. So it's like holding your boundaries, like this, staying 6 feet away from people, that kind of thing. Like holding your boundaries, holding your energy, only giving when it's wanted and in the way that it's wanted, in the way you want it. So it's important for you to understand not to just walk around drenching people with love, because a lot of people just don't even want that. So this is a thing on boundaries with you, and understanding that you do have a lot of love to share.
Initially,
You have a lot to share. You have a lot to give, but you got to find the right venue to give. So, when you're helping people in these, I don't know, the different
industry or whatever.
like the organizations and stuff, like that's a different thing. That's like, that's like doing ministry. That's a different thing. But when it comes
the boundaries are already in place.
Yeah. And you're not going to be all loving on them. Like you're going to give them the love that and the compassion that you're going to share, but you're not going to just keep drenching them with all kinds of love. Whereas in a relationship, or when you start getting close to someone, you tend to do that. You just want to make sure that they, first, number one, deserve it. Number two, they can accept it. Number three, it's an equal thing, that they are feeding you as much as you are feeding them in a real way. Because that's why you give them a lot of rope first, just to see. Because when something starts to begin with, it seems good, but then you finally see someone's true colors, right? So you've got to move out of that, because I feel this darkness that wants to keep coming in and messing with you. So that just means you just need to get with yourself and just like put everybody on the outside and say, okay, I'm going to reset myself. I'm going to stay present in myself. And even when someone comes to you and it feels good, it's like you still stay with yourself. Because when you're too much giving, then it's too easy for them to just disrespect you, because it's too easy. Too easy. They didn't have to work for it. They didn't have to earn it. They didn't have to do all the things that they need to do to show you who they are and that they're worthy of what you're willing to give.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because like that's what I was pretending I was in a relationship with somebody that ended yesterday. And it was like I went like, you break boundaries and break boundaries and break boundaries just to be close to somebody. And then like he came over to give me a burrito, and I'm sorry, I'd be vulgar, but he was like touching me. It was like, dude, bro, like there's no initiation with this. Like you can't like bring me food and like touch my nana for like, what are you doing?
Ew.
You're being disrespectful to me. And like, bro, like where, like, who said you could do this?
Right.
And you call yourself a man of God, like you're hiding behind, and it's like the mask. And it's like people just hide behind their bullshit. And I'm just like, oh, well, they're such a nice person. And I'm like, dude, like lock it up, or like,
right.
So yeah, no, it was just like, and I've had, you and my other spiritual moms like shake the crap out of me with this, and like, this was a test. This was a test, and you need to like buckle it up, and just not you're not giving this out just because you healed a little bit and you're doing better than you were, a minute and a half ago. That doesn't make it okay for you to just like, oh, well, here, since you like me, I'll just like
Right.
almost bend over. Like,
So
not
it's
cool.
like, you know what? Clean up your light.
Yeah.
Clean up
yeah.
your energy. Clean up your light. Clean up your, just, I keep getting that. Clean up your light. Clean up your energy. Like, work on yourself. Work on,
Yeah. I got to
and
keep
on,
working on me.
yeah, on your own. Give all that love to yourself.
Yeah.
And don't let it out unless somebody completely has had time and space to prove to you that they're worthy of that and that you feel that.
Yeah.
So don't, as far as these people, it's like, it's the trigger. It's like, no, that's not the right person. Goodbye. I mean,
Yeah.
basically, if you run into it, get out of it immediately, period. And because if you keep entertaining that, you're going to keep getting that.
Yeah. It's like I've fought hard to get out of what I got out of, and for some reason I like spend a little bit of time with myself, and then I'm like hungry for affection or attention or what have you, and I just like give it all up for pot, and it's like
Right.
I
I
just
mean,
like
everybody,
and then I have to do the rebuild all over again.
right. And I think everybody can relate to that. But you know what? It's a lot easier just to be picky than to go through that. Like you said, you
Yeah.
got to start all over again, go through all that crap. It's not even worth it. It's like, I'm just going to take care of me until the time is right, and I'm going to know when that is. So you don't give people the room to even give you that disrespect. I don't think you'll do it again after this one.
No.
So, and if something slips in, you know what to do is just to know. And then once you do this for yourself, you will start attracting people that are of a higher quality, that are more at your level. And that's what
Yeah.
you need to do. That's what you need to
Well,
focus on.
I was looking because I looked at it because I went all the way back to the initial abuse crap, and that's what I think that I unconsciously do, is like I'll purposely bottom feed, because I don't know, for some stupid reason I think that will make me feel like I'm higher up. That will make me feel like, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're sacrificing everything for what? To feel power? Like,
Right.
where's that going to get me?
Right. Oh,
And I don't even.
I
Yeah.
think ultimately you just love and you want to help other people feel loved, and you're just not picking the right
The right people.
person that can receive it or
Okay.
is worthy of it. So work on you, work on your
Okay.
light, work on replenishing yourself, getting yourself healthy.
Yeah.
And then you raise yourself to a new level, and that's where you'll start engaging with people.
Thank you.
Does everybody here feel like they have somewhere to start?
Yes, it was awesome.
I'm sorry that we went over time, but I really wanted to get everybody to a place where they could, use what we did at their time today to make it useful. And,
Thank you.
I think everybody got like that one question you need to keep asking yourself. If you don't do the next step, that question you need to ask yourself is why, whatever that question was. I think everybody has one, right? Like, if I don't do this, what would happen if it was just me and or what would happen if I don't do this? Like, everybody has that question to keep you shifted there. And if you decide it's not that thing that came up today, what is it? Okay. And really just asking yourself questions and making yourself give an answer. It's okay if you give yourself an answer and then start going for it, and then you start being led down another way. Always you have to make a decision and start walking one way to know if it's that way or you need to readjust. But if you keep just saying yes, no, yes, you don't get anywhere. You're playing ping pong. So I think everybody has a direction and a question to ask yourself if you don't end up going that way. Okay? And obviously, if you're you know, wanting deeper stuff like this, you know, there's work that I do like this, but I just wanted to give you, I actually just wanted to reach out and help some people that needed to get past some blockages to get more on their way.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Lots of love. I really enjoyed this time with you. And I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys springboard forward, because I feel like all of you are in a place to do that.
Thank you so much. It was great.
All right. And this is a recording, so I'll send you guys all the link if you want to go back and watch your part again.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.